I tried to put horses into categories when I was younger, and I soon learned that backfired big time, and you get it wrong, but I mean seriously wrong and dangerously wrong. So you try and put them in and you think to yourself, well, this horse is going to, we'll put him in this category as easygoing, better with some horses. See, some horses you need to have a firm word with, other ones you can just barely talk to them. Other ones you've got to talk to them all the time when you first start. But if you look, when they're finished and done, I hardly speak to him at all, because he's now got his own, he's become his own person, if you like, in a completely different things he's never done before, like having a cart tied to him, harness on his back, bit in his mouth, yeah? You get a 3-year-old I'm talking about that's never seen a thing or done a thing. Like this horse is 6 and never seen traffic. But basically, he's had a bit in his mouth and been ridden round. So I tried to categorise horses into, and it just don't work. And you've got to look at every single one that comes in as a complete individual. Now, obviously, you learn things over a time, but what the most important lesson is learning their body language and what they're saying to you. And don't be arrogant about it. They've got a lot to say if you watch and read their body language. They tell you how they feel. You get out of bed some mornings, you come down, you don't feel too good. Well, why should a horse be any different? Why should it? Who says so? So you can't categorise them, and that's why I've said to you before, I know people get angry with me that have written books on breaking horses. But what they do is they lay out a set of rules of how you do it, basically. You do this first, then you do that, then you pull this along, and then you pull that, then you put them in a... Well, if that was the case, I wouldn't exist, would I? Because you buy the book and do it yourself, and that'd be lovely. But they're not machines. And it's a disservice to them to look at it like that. And if you say to the person that wrote the book, I've done exactly what you said, and my horse, buggered off with a cart and kicked it to pieces, they'll say, well, you never done it right. You didn't do it properly. Well, if they followed your instructions in the book and the horse has gone along perfectly happy with that, but at that point of having the cart connected to it has gone crackers and frightened the life out of itself, and he's terrified and, breaks through a fence and all like that, then what can you say? That's why you've got to treat them as individuals. And some, you can do silly little things to a horse, to get him over something that might be a problem. I don't tell people, I don't tell people, I would do, but the trouble is they've got to do it right. If I explain something, this is what you want to do. But I'll tell you one thing that can work well, very well, with horse when you first put it in the shows. So the difference is between you long reining it about the place, with a swingle tree and pulling something. Now you're putting it between 2 lumps of wood or metal, yeah? And you're now confining it. And it's strapped to the horse. Well, that's a dangerous part. And if you get that wrong at that time, and as many people know, not that many people would admit it, let me tell you, it's the poor bloody horse that will get the blame for it, and he'll get painted as a rogue and a villain, and dangerous and like that. Get rid of it. I've heard that 1,000 times. We don't do the bloody horses, it's the people that are doing the job. Sorry to get angry, but I do. We get so many that come to us with problems. Well, the only way they got the problems was off of the humans, wasn't it? Off of people. That's the only way they got the problem. Never had a problem before. So that's why you've got to work hard at it to get it right, and make sure it works. And I I think I can put my hand on my heart and say all the horses that we do go home and they're happy and like that. I mean, you can come out into the stables, like there's 10 places in the stable for horses. And once they've arrived and they've settled down and da-di-da-di-da, you can hear a pin drop. But you're going there in the morning, and it does, even now at my great age, well, it's, I don't know what the right word is to say. It's definitely, you walk in there and they'll talk to me. Every last one of them will talk to me, you know. Different volumes, different, come over baby boy. That's it, my darling. Right boy, trot, trot. We're going off this road now. This is a bit of a trunk road, we'd call it. Shortcut. You can get, well, as you've just seen, big lorries, Arctics going up here. And sometimes you can come from one end to the other to this junction right down into town and see nothing at all. Steady, my baby. There's a good little boy, yes you are. So as I say, you know, I get a bit emotional about this because I don't think we got the right. I sometimes wonder whether we got the right to put them in a cart in the first place. You know, so definitely it's got to be done right. Or riding them, doing anything. I mean, Katie does, you know, Katie and Ree, I'll say Ree perhaps more, gets them ready for riding and backs them and like that. And then Katie comes on and does the, you know, teaches them, you know, all the aids, etc. like that. But Ree gets on board them and sorts them out, and it's just, it's the same thing. You've got to be like, there's a thing there. This is a general rule, which I hate talking about general rules with horses, but Katie, who's no mug, let me tell you, very, very good rider and a lovely person, you know, gentle with them like that, rides everything out of my yard in a rubber bit, in the heavy traffic, everywhere we've been, downtown, up on the motorway bridge, through the river, across the common, round the arena with all the bits and pieces hanging down. No problem at all. Go on, my baby. No problem at all. She'll ride it all around there, so she's definitely a good rider. A Ree will get them ready, so she'll, you know, put the saddle on and she'll climb up on them, get on and off. She does all sorts, so sits on their back and turns round and round, whatever she thinks they need, so that when Katie comes and puts her foot in the stirrup, you know, then she can then take them on and teach them up, you know, to the level that's required. But it'll all be done in a soft rubber bit, and I wouldn't have anyone on the yard that weren't prepared, you know, to ride them in that. I mean, obviously we've worked together for a fair while now, so, and all my horses driving soft rubber bits. Now there's another thing there, it's a minefield, and people get angry with me and they talk about pressure and release. Let me tell you this, that's pain and release, and I'll argue the point with anybody. When you put that on there, a curb chain, the metal bit in its mouth, and you've got some sort of cantilever cheek piece on it, and you hold that in, if he don't bend his neck, that's going to hurt him, and that's exactly what it is. So how can I do it in a soft rubber bit with no curb chain, no cheek pieces, you know, nothing whatsoever, but a loose running ring on a rubber snaffle, and drive anything, stallions, whatever they are, in that? Not because I'm a bloody great horse break or genius, clever bloke, I'm not at all. It's just that the way you approach it, you get them to respect. So you see this horse now, if I said to him now, come on Rufus, up you go, good boy, go on my baby boy, on you go. And I want to stop, emergency stop, there's a kiddie running out now, whoa. No, did he do anything? Is he upset by that? Stop on a sixpence? Done anything at all? Not in any way whatsoever. Walk on, baby. And you come back to the walk like that, no trouble at all. I'm going to go up here now and just do exactly the same thing going down a slope. Trot, baby. Trot. Good boy. Yes, you are, you young buckaroo. Come on, my darling. I love this little lane we go back home in, because after they've been amongst all that traffic and that, it's a nice chill out place, isn't it? And in the hot summer days, you know, it breaks the sun up on their backs, and it's cool in here. And in the winter time, when the wind's blowing and it's icy cold, it cuts the wind from left or right, wherever it's coming from. Go on, my baby, you young ruck. Come on, he's a good boy. Wriggle, I'll call him. Wriggles that bloody head collar off all the time. Go on. Up you go, my baby boy. So we're going downhill now. There's two of us on the cart, obviously. The producer and filmmaker. Horse trainer. Computer expert. Oh, watch this, look. Well, babe. So that's, you know, no brake on. And that all stopping all this weight like that. Not upset by it in any way at all. Walk, my darling. And if you look behind you, you'll see the little skid marks on the road now. So, you know, that's what we try and achieve. I hope I've made some sense doing this, talking to you with this one, because I've got to concentrate on the horse all the time, and, you know, pick up every little bit and pieces he's doing. Even this, he'll be going home shortly, but we've still got to learn. Make sure he's 100% happy, in tune with what's happening, and he's enjoying it. That's the thing, you know. So safe, confident and happy. That's what we want to do. Now, if I was here now and I had to pull up to speak to someone and he went down to bite some grass, I would tell him off. I'd say to him, "Oi, what are you doing? That'll do." And he'd pick his head up. He wouldn't go down again. He wouldn't argue with me. He'd just accept, okay, Dad said that, that's fair enough. How do we teach them that? I'll show you one day where we teach them that. Well, Ree does that more than me. I'm not much good on me on the ground as I used to be. I've had a couple of operations, and all right, come on, baby, try again, darling. Yes, you are, you rascal. So you go along there. If I chuck the reins on the dash up there, I've got no brakes on. I've got to just pull him over on my side of the road a little bit for this bike. All right, mate, thank you. And he go on here, he's not running away, is he? He's not doing anything, we're running downhill very, very slightly. But he just go on as happy like that. Steady, steady, my baby boy, you young rascal. So the horse has got to be happy, innit? I mean, obviously, you know, lovely. And he'll carry on all the way home like this. I mean, obviously, you've got to give him a little bit of guidance of where you want him on the road. If you've got a lorry coming, or a truck, or children playing, dogs, whatever, you know, you've got to do that then. But what I'm saying is, he's not speeding up, is he? He's not anything at all. Rufus, you young rascal. So if I say to him now, if he watches his, Rufus, steady now, steady, babe, steady, steady, my boy, just walk. Trot, babe, trot. Safe, confident and happy. What I'm doing is not safe, I'm just showing you, you know, how he is. All right, my darling baby boy. Yeah, someone said to me that you like them all, you love all of them. I do love them all. I think what they do for us and what we ask them to do is diabolical. And I don't mean just me, I mean everyone that's got horse, really. Like, we think it's perfectly all right to stick a saddle on their back, kick them with your heels, lump of iron in their mouth, get them to jump over a little fence. Well, all of that is fine if it's done and the horse is happy doing it. Do you follow what I mean? Like, if you make them a part of the team, a part of what it is, they're a very, very big part of my life, aren't they? I mean, they are my life, I suppose, really. And the older I've got, the more so, you know. This, I sort of, I don't know, I don't think of much else, only my horses, you know, and they're trying to learn a bit more. And all the time you can, if your mind's open, you can learn so much. People have offered me a lot of money to write, write a book. And there's a man out in America wanted to write, he said he'd make a hardback book and he'd stand all the costs and he'd pay me to, and he'd get someone to come and listen to what I've got to say and write it all down, you know. The trouble is, it would only be a load of nonsense, really, wouldn't it? Because you'd only be talking about that one particular horse. Well, if you then applied that as though it was going to fit every horse, it's like, your shoes don't fit everybody else, do they? So, you know what I mean? So it would never work, and I refused the job because, although I do love them to death, I really do. And this horse here, he'd climb a mountain, well, any of them would. Climb a mountain for you. He'd climb a mountain, he'd fall to his knees, split his knees open, be dripping in blood, and he'd still climb up and go on just because you asked him. Well, then that amount of dedication to humans, come on, my baby boy, has got to be treated with respect, isn't it? This cart we've put on him today, come on darling, there we go. There's several carts fit him in the yard, but we had to put this one on because the other day we got 2 punchers in his one, and then we went out, we used it twice, went out again, got another puncher. So that's just the way being done now. Walk up, my darling baby, that's all right, just walk, just walk. So if you look behind us here, you can see that it's quite a hill. Go on then, baby, if you want to trot. Oh, that's the dodo. You find that easier. Go up then, man, baby. Go on. You young rascal. Rufus the rascal. Come over there. There's a good boy. So if I've, sorry if I've rambled on a bit, but I was just trying to make you, understand the way I want to see the world through their eyes, and then you've become someone that can help them into the world that we want them to live in. I mean, really and truthfully, people say they should be in a field, that horse. What are you doing driving out the road? No, they shouldn't be in a bloody field where it's in the field and then eats around it. That's lovely, isn't it? What he should be is be able to walk from here 1,000 miles if he wants to, and all these mucks behind him and the fresh bite of grass is in front. The only thing that's going to stop him is a forest, a cliff, a river, a swamp, some natural barrier, but certainly not a bloody fence. And when people say to me, I clean my fields every single day, well, as I've said 100 times, then roughly speaking, 22 hours a day, they're on the floor, and they've pooed. So, on the ground, you know what I mean? And when you clean it up, even with these modern vacuum cleaner things, it's still got to be moist to leave the horse, isn't it? And then he's on the ground and in the ground. So, when people say that to me, it's better than, leaving a load of muck in the field. Of course it is. Obviously, of course it is. But anyway, that's how I want to, see the world through their eyes. And then if you've achieved that with one horse in your life, that's all right. but just think they're all different, so you're not, you know, you've got to see it through a lot of different horses' eyes, and that's what I'm still trying to do at my late time in life, you know what I mean? Anyway, that's enough of me jabbering on. I hope you enjoy this and it makes some sort of sense to you.
There's a smile on my face every time I hear that sound. The rhythm of the hooves as they touch the ground. And there's no better place I'd rather be than with my safe, confident horse. And there's no better place I'd rather be than with my safe, confident horse that's had